Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to something pretty frickin' cool. Now, let me tell you what's going on here for a bit. So, we here at Caffeinated Conquest do fully support White Wolf and Onyx Path and their endeavor to bring all this cool, awesome new stuff to the World of Darkness. However, we've been playing for a long damn time, and some of my players are understandably more comfortable with the rules that we've been using for years. So, new books, classic vampire. We are running Onyx Path's brand new Chicago by Night with classic V20 rules. Also, full disclosure, I did kickstart this one, so that's how I have the advanced full PDF of Chicago by Night. Onyx Path didn't give us this one. We gave them money. We didn't give them enough money. We love you, Onyx Path. Anyway, let's go around real quick. And before we start, one thing I want to do is I have plastic caught under my chair. Our production schedule has been screwed on terms of the original content. We know it's been screwed. People's schedules changed. Things changed for me, so it's harder to get stuff out. Life happened. So, we're looking at ways to give our patrons more bang for their buck with our live streams. And one of the ways we're going to do that right now is to start shouting them out in front of God and everybody. So, thank you, you wonderful people. We appreciate everyone who sits here and watches us and makes time for a stream or a video. But you fine folks go the extra mile, and you deserve a little bit of extra thank you to Cosmic Microwaves, Daestra 122, Darryl Couch, HiggensBiggens, Jay Bozlinski, Jennifer Foos, Paul Hoffman, Vasil Kalov, and Neli Evgenieva-Kalova. And if I mispronounce any of that, I am so sorry. Please send your hate mail to Adam.
If you can, so he can fall asleep on it.
Yeah. I can use it to kill myself.
Weeaboo Adam at caffeinatedconquest.com.
All right. Well, I fished this plastic out of my chair. Everybody, let's go around and inform them of your characters. Now, for those of you who saw our one-page chronicle jump starts for V20, and on YouTube I'll put a card like right about there over where Josh's face is, you might recognize some of these characters. We've been playing a Chicago Chronicle on and off since 2014, and we've been using, well, just about the same character ever since. A couple people have switched.
But and some people died.
One person died.
I try to make it seem like nobody else died, but I guess so.
Hi, Ani. By all means, I throw it to you guys, starting with the Black Snow Prince.
I need no introduction. That is all. Now the Black Snow Prince is basically basically somebody from like a really wealthy Rockefeller-type family. His father was a corporate lawyer, and he was like, "Hey, Dad, why don't you send me to business school in Japan?" And instead of going to business school in Japan, he spent the whole time studying ukiyo painting and katana swordplay. And when he came back, he caught the eye of, what are they called? Not impressionist painters. Basically, a toreador who was a French painter who really liked his ukiyo painting and didn't realize that he was really just a massive weeb in a kimono with a katana, and embraced him. And long story short, I am now the Harpy of Chicago.
Hi, Davy Jones Show.
David Jones! What's up, buddy?
So now the weeb is in control of what's tasteful and what's not.
To make my content the best.
Oh yeah, and he basically dresses day to day like basically like a visual kei singer.
Hello, Yusuf. We love you.
Hi, Yusuf.
I already said hi to Yusuf once today, and once is enough.
You get one.
Everybody gets one.
Yeah, that's basically my character in a nutshell.
Should I go next? I'm Roxanne. I'm a gargoyle. I can fly. Most people here how to fly. But at least one got in the flying too.
You can fly a truck.
I can fly a truck, yeah.
Aren't you on the run from the Tremere anti-tribu?
Yeah, I'm on the run. And I almost attacked Xavier's character, all other character.
No, you almost did.
I died. I almost died. Not by my choice, but the rolls is what I'm going to say. But it was probably my choice too. So
Adam decided to
suicidal.
fall out of the sky and pick a fight with the power gamer.
Yep.
No, he's not anti-tribute Tremere. He's a gargoyle.
Yeah. He's on the run from,
I'm on the run from Anti-Tribute Tremere.
which are basically just as good as Tremere, so I don't even know why they differentiate. No, what am I supposed to extra hate them? I guess I'll go next. I am playing Lee Anderson, a half Irish, half Chinese true Bruja, or as I like to call them, Truha, because it's just faster that way.
True.
His current primary directive is a new order, shall we say.
Tom, would you like to inform us about the illustrious Orpheus Karras?
Well, Orpheus is just a regular old Malkavian with not a over-the-top derangement, because, you know, those are always fun people to hang out with. He's just a researcher, a chemist, and often gets blind or distracted with what he's pursuing. Probably has some apathy, severe apathy syndrome.
All right.
Doesn't
Raven.
he work for some little company called Pentex?
Yeah, little known one.
Raven, making your first ever Vampire the Masquerade debut. Finally, after 3 years, I managed to embrace her. Please tell us about Ava.
I'm not as creative as these guys, so I'm just a goth lowly artist. I do painting and fashion, and I think that's it.
And
That's
you've
enough to get a
currently
Toreador to embrace you.
you've currently caught the eye of a very powerful Toreador in the city, have you not?
Yes. Apparently.
Jazz, I'm disappointed that the overlay doesn't have my character's name in Japanese. He would not stand for this.
I mean, if you want to give me half an hour, I can download a katakana typeset.
I just Google it, Jazz.
Google it.
I mean, that is totally a thing you can do.
How to commit Sudoku. Shit, wrong one.
You know, ironically, on IE, this is the second Vampire Chronicle I've run in a while where we have had a vampire named after one of the characters who happened to share the same name as one of the characters of LA by Night, and I swear to God it's not intentional. Luckily, though, Jason Carl is cool as hell, so he's not going to care. Jason, you've commented in a couple of our videos before. If you're watching tonight, Mr. Carl, I raise my great value fruit punch in your direction, sir. A gentleman and a scholar. All right. So, we begin tonight at one of Annabelle Triabel's weekly soirees. Of course, the brand new Harpy of Chicago received an invitation, as did the New Blood, a recently embraced member of Clan Toreador. Who else do you think is in attendance? Given your distinguished record towards Chicago, you probably would have received an invitation just to keep up appearances, if not out of any semblance of politeness. But how many of you would have actually gone?
I would stop by for a moment or two.
Oh my god.
And while this happens, I'm going to start up the Roll20 jukebox, because it's a little too quiet in this motherfucker.
Quick.
All right.
Good. Austin, sing.
No.
Give us one of your sailor shanties.
we want to be immersed in Assassin's Creed.
A shanty man.
That's enough.
That's enough.
All right.
Sing us a maelstrom.
Lee, what are you doing here at the party tonight?
I am looking to see who is in attendance, and see who's near the top of the food chain here. Besides Bell Bell.
Near the top of the food chain besides Bell Bell. Let's see.
Your code to remember.
Yeah, but and my code to remember. I don't.
So you're no doubt looking for the top of the kindred food chain, right? Not necessarily...
I mean, would the mortal one matter? I think we're on top of them.
Well, I'm just letting you know that Bell Bell does tend to entertain the upper crust of mortal society, so they will be here too. And speaking of which, you are currently in a masquerade zone, so best behavior. Bell Bell is currently in attendance. We shall say Cretius is in attendance as well.
Woo.
Does that mean Orpheus went?
And there's a few people you've never seen around before, which you've been around the block long enough to know that the Nosferatu might be in attendance.
Oh, right. They don't want anyone to look at them and be like, gross. Shoot it.
Now, whether or not they were actually invited by the Vain Toreador is another thing entirely, but who knows? Orpheus, what about you?
I honestly don't see why he would attend.
That's fine. I don't intend to stay here long either. Roxanne, are you here? In your giant Speedo and big-ass muscles. Adam didn't tell you this, but when I asked what his character looked like, he told me one of the Pillarmen from JoJo's Bizarre Adventures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you doing, Imp? Tao, Quinn, how you doing? Xavier is a true Bruja. He's one of the bloodlines. So, I'm not sure how familiar you are with, I guess, the deeper vampire lore, but presuming that we'll have some new V5 players... Okay, never mind. Well, presuming that we'll have some new V5 players watching anyway, bloodlines are sort of offshoots of the larger clans. Adam is one as well, a gargoyle. No worries, Tao. I didn't mean to patronize or anything.
Unless you wanted to.
I know, True Bruja pretty cool. He actually controls time. He doesn't have stupid celerity.
I do have stupid celerity.
He took the true celerity merit from Lore of the Bloodlines.
But now don't use them both at the same time.
Alright. Roxanne, are you here?
I'm probably not, because then, like, right in the open where the entry ship you can find me. Not a good idea.
Okay, so
well, they're not going to look for you at the big party.
But is that really how it's pronounced?
They're going to see me though. They're like, what is that stone man doing here?
Okay, so you're staying home tonight, Roxanne?
Yeah.
Okay. Ava, you don't get a choice. Now let me try and explain to you the predicament you find yourself in. I want you to imagine, that one night you're out minding your business and you're grabbed by a particularly vicious cartel. Pick one. This cartel has made it extremely clear to you that if you ever see any of your loved ones, any of your friends, your family, anyone you care about again, they will kill them. In addition, this cartel expects you to uphold their status quo, which usually means killing people, maybe human trafficking, maybe getting people addicted to illicit substances, thereby destroying their life. They expect you to help, or there will be consequences. That is exactly the way Ava... That is exactly the situation she finds herself in tonight. Taken from her life, perhaps less than a week under the night, as they say. The only difference is that when they tell Ava that she's one of them now, there's a small voice in the back of Ava's head that says, they might be right. Now, you're the new Toreador at a Toreador gathering. This is important. You don't know much about what's going on. You do know that this party is being hosted by a particularly powerful member of your clan, someone called a Primogen. That's like a big deal or something. Your sire, the one that turned you, a capricious sort, didn't particularly care to stick around and make sure you were abreast of the social mores. They did their part, introduced you to the prince of the city, another important vampire, introduced you to the primogen Annabelle Triabelle, and then blew town for something important to do in Paris, with the understanding in no uncertain terms that if you embarrass them, they will have you destroyed. And so, as is tradition, for the new Toreador at a Toreador party, you're expected to perform, to showcase what makes you unique, representing you, your clan, and your sire, all at once. And so there you are, trotted out like a show pony, before an entire room full of predators. And you can tell which ones are humans and which one are decidedly not. They gaze at you with these cold, unfeeling eyes, like wolves peering from the tree line, scrutinizing, waiting, looking for any sort of weakness. What do you perform tonight?
Jameson, just kidding.
Muted, babe.
I said I guess I'll do one of my paintings.
Okay. What have you painted?
Is it watercolors?
No.
Just be like,
That's what
behold,
oil
something.
painting.
Oh,
It's all
Bob
hentai,
Ross tutorial.
baby. It's a
It's a Bob
hentai.
Ross tutorial.
Bob Ross meets erotic painting.
Yeah.
Erotic Bob Ross.
very
like
different
I guess
than the
just
happy
a
little
girl that
mountains.
looks like kind of sad and like just like a bunch of roses in the background and it's like kind of dark muted colors.
I like it. This would appeal to the Toreador sensibility. Now let's see how you did. When you made your character with Xavier, did he give you craft, performance, profession? What do you have?
All of the above. Except profession. I don't think that was there.
Yeah,
I
professional skill is one of the write-in ones.
Yeah.
It's part. It's technically
yeah.
part of V20. It's just not on the sheet.
Yeah, I think for like making art, that's usually under craft though.
Yeah.
Like that's where my ukiyo painting is.
Okay. Did he give you? Well, I'm making sure Xavier gave her craft. Though.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. I got like 4 I think on there.
Excellent. So what you're gonna give me is give me a dexterity craft roll at a difficulty 7, knowing that you probably painted this under no small amount of duress. Most likely in a locked room somewhere. Your sire looking over you, denying you a taste of blood until you got every line just
What was
right.
diff what?
Diff 7. So, for any V5 players that might be watching, our system's not terribly different than yours. We have blood points instead of hunger dice, and our difficulties are not a standard 6 all the time. They can fluctuate.
3 successes.
3 successes.
I like the idea that
Par.
if you played a Bob Ross video and like
Huh?
Par.
in Elysium, like people would start or vampires would start burning.
So,
It's true, guys.
you're on a...
Mr. Rogers, neighborhood, that one too.
So currently you're on a makeshift stage, on sort of a raised area in the living room of this wide mansion, between these 2 spiraling staircases that sweep up to an upper balcony. Behind you, there's a piano, a very large harp. No one manning them yet. All eyes are on you. And you pull the tarp off this painting. It falls to the ground. And immediately there's a murmur. Can I please have a wits empathy roll? I do love 5th. Don't get me wrong. Some of my players prefer the older rules, so I, as a storyteller, try to make sure my players have fun.
What's the diff, babe?
Standard 6.
What the fuck?
Another 3.
Another 3. Your painting has garnered a lukewarm reaction from the assembled crowd. Some sort of raise an eyebrow, duck their head side to side. Some sneer and whisper snide remarks to those that stand beside them. Josh, the Black Snow Prince. You are currently opposite the raised area, standing on the balcony with Annabelle, as she swirls a champagne glass in one hand that she has yet to touch, but has made very certain to press her lipstick to sort of maintain the illusion, ever so slightly.
Just a little.
You can already see the impression that your high harpiness has made on the tourier of the city, and while she's not quite wearing a kimono, you can definitely see that her dress has a very subtle Asian-inspired cut to it.
Is it secretly Annabelle Ahegel?
God damn it.
Get out of here, Adam.
This is pretty cool. I like it. I think they streamlined it a lot, and they cut right to the heart of what vampire is supposed to be. But I understand if it's not to everybody's taste, because it is very. It was designed by LARP people, and it's very story first. So if you're not a story first player, then I get it.
If I'm LARPing, it's full contact.
Like the Russians. I kind of pull my long kimono sleeve up to kind of cover my mouth so I can speak to her privately.
Okay, how about a manipulation stealth roll? And see how well you do.
Three successes.
Close enough. You sort of give off the impression that you're maybe chortling at the painting or giving some snide remark.
No, I'm probably chortling, but not at the painting. I'm like, dearest Bella, you do see the potential this one has, yes. She is my latest discovery.
She's not terrible, je t'aime, but I've seen better in an art school. I admit sometimes I don't understand why things catch your eye as they do, but the other kindred seem to appreciate your style, so who am I to question?
Can you not notice the subtle rawness of the soul that's still there, that faintest touch of humanity still there?
The big dick energy.
The big dick energy, as the kids say.
The humanity, yes. I see it now that you mention it in the misshapen lines. So you're saying you're saying that this lack of skill is deliberate, that it's meant to evoke the rawness, the inexperience of a child.
Yes, because to be human is to be imperfect.
I just kind of flip my eyes back and forth. Yes, exactly. You get my meaning.
Interesting. Your child is bold indeed.
Oh, she is not my child, simply my protege.
Ah. Of course. That's right, you embraced another. She didn't stay in town very long. Tell me, how is... Her name is Annabelle as well, wasn't it?
Me. I jest, but yes. Dead like the rest of us. I hear she has fallen in with terrorist.
I forgot, yeah.
And brigands. But
and what do you
is
think
that not...
of that decision, my prince?
Much like this raw painting that my next protege has presented to us, it represents that fleeting touch of rebellion that one tends to lose as the years go on. Not that I truly understand it, but something I perceive with my artist eye.
You are the sort of person that prizes giving your proteges an ability to choose, aren't you?
Yes. After all, art only comes from choice. I myself made the choice of art over the business acumen my mortal father wished I had. And there's more than one way of expressing one's art. After all, the samurai of ancient Japan believed that the sword play was its own art. Hence why I choose to study it. There is a unique way of looking at two different disciplines and letting them inform one another. Perhaps how one who has newly crossed over to the other side of the dead, but still has that faintest touch of humanity, and how they inform each other. I'm basically trying to babble and sound like I know what I'm talking about.
You want okay? You want to do a manipulation subterfuge? Try and fast talk her.
I'm a Toreador. I have all the dice in that. Eight successes.
Jesus Christ!
She's like, this is why you're my right-hand man.
Yes.
You're a master at talking about nothing.
This is why you have my lore sheet. It elates me that you feel this way, Jaten. May I speak freely with you?
Of course you can, Bel Kun.
What's the reaction to that?
I'm slowly gonna get all the vampires in Chicago to use Japanese honorifics.
Do it.
Prince Donald.
You see, I am quite glad that you decided to attend tonight. I am glad whenever you decide to attend my side, my prince, but tonight there is a matter of some import that I would like someone I can trust to see to. Shall we call it a major boon, perhaps?
Ooh.
Nut.
I'm like, call it whatever you wish, Bel Kun. I prefer to call it done.
She sort of like lovingly lays a hand upon your cheek, running her fingers down. You never disappoint me, Jaten.
I wouldn't know how.
Tell me, do you remember, years ago, were you in the city during the Lupine Wars?
Oh yes, but thankfully my sire managed to protect me from the brunt of that, although I am aware through my coterie many of the events.
Yes. You had a member of your coterie once by the name of Gabriel. He was quite instrumental in uncovering that it was actually the Sabbat behind the attack.
Yes, I heard he defeated them single-handedly wearing a Batman nipple suit. If that's not performance art, I don't know what is.
Did he? This is unknown to me. I will have to make sure the rest of the kindred hear of this.
Oh shit, that's right. I'm the only one left.
You're
of the
right,
original
Clockwork
coterie.
Sorcerer. It is a good chronicle idea.
Clockwork Sorcerer, how you doing? We're actually referencing the events of Under a Blood Red Moon, which our coterie did play through.
Oh, the nipple suit, we're referring to the fact that at one point he had the George Clooney Batman suit he had to wear, and it's the one with the nipples on it.
He got his clothes covered in blood, because remember, we've been playing this for a long time, on and off.
Yeah.
I don't know what fell, but something fell. Anyway, we've been playing this for a long time, on and off. He got his clothes just completely drenched in blood, and he went to Orpheus, who's got all the money for the coterie, asked him to buy him new clothes, and he came back with the fucking Batman and Robin batsuit.
The best
So,
one.
That was Gabriel for a couple of weeks.
That was the one that had the ice skates in it, wasn't it?
Yep.
Fucking Batman's prepared for everything.
So, she says to you, I would see the Camarilla gain new allies to strengthen itself against the Sabbat. Would you not agree, my prince?
Oh no, I can agree. I'm very good at agreeing.
Would you agree?
Agree to disagree.
My understanding is that we have been given a very interesting situation in Chicago this night. Our dear Prince Jackson, now that our beloved Brennan Thornhill has been called to the Middle East of the Beckoning, is expecting a diplomatic envoy of sorts. And he is looking for a coterie of able vampires that can be trusted to make sure such things go smoothly. And I simply thought to myself that, well, as such a fantastic harpy, as the leader, the holder of the hearts and minds of the kindred of my domain, who would be better to go and perhaps convince some of the less cultured, less accepting among us, should Prince Jackson's choice of diplomatic relations prove perhaps unwise to some.
Ah. You made the right choice, Belbel-kun.
Wait, so canonically, in our canon, what happened to Brennan?
Canonically in our canon, he went to the Beckoning. Canonically in World of Darkness character in canon, he's dead. He got ripped apart and under a blood red moon by the werewolves when they sacked the Succubus Club. Fortunately for him, you guys don't know how to open a goddamn closet, so he survived.
Yeah!
For those of you who don't know, we made him Prince.
We could have opened a closet, but, it was locked, so we would have to find another way to open it.
So we burned down the club. Allow me to gather my coterie. I believe 2 of them are missing.
Yes. As I
and
said,
she'll
sort of like touch a finger to your lips. As I said, I know very little about the current situation. I can only give you the information I have so far. However, Prince Jackson has sent an envoy. You are aware of the new sheriff, Damien, yes? I believe you've made acquaintance.
Is that somebody I've met before?
Yes, you fist fought him.
Oh, yeah! And I got pretty damn close to winning, too.
Oh, that's right, because I couldn't fight him because I was, dying.
Yeah, so I was... the weeb had to step up and be like, allow me to show you my kendo.
What's good, Imp?
Naughty Crumbum.
Fraser.
But there's a party of 11 there.
Naughty Crumbum, how you doing? Imp, you gotta meet me halfway. When I'm streaming right now, usually I say shit and instantly forget it because I'm like right here, so I have no idea what I said that was wrong.
You got 26 people watching now.
26 people? Hello, 26 people. Thank you for making us feel important.
We will proceed to disappoint each and every one of you.
Yeah.
Anyway, Damien currently awaits the chosen coterie. It's, I forget where it is. I believe it's an Irish restaurant off the interstate. I don't know. The things these kind fill their veins with these days makes me long for my days on the streets of Paris. Ugh.
That made it sound like she was a whore.
Belle was a whore.
Okay, well, there you go.
Back in the old days when she had to eat dicks.
Yes, the Carlo Martino diet.
Here in the Rockies, we got the Rocky Mountain oysters. We don't eat the dicks, just the balls.
She'll, again, run a hand down your cheek. I look forward to fulfilling the boon for you, Jetem. You go with the clan of the Rose in your hands. And she will give a very ostentatious bow as she slinks off to join the rest of the party.
Wow, a lot of pressure.
I only know how to deliver. We're not in a, what do you call it? Fucking...
Elysium?
Yeah.
No, this is
a masquerade zone, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I won't do the whole flutter down the flight of stairs.
Mm-hmm.
I will, like a normal human being, just kind of walk down to where Lee is.
You feel gross for a second?
It's like I have to walk like a peasant.
Like a fucking farmer.
What is Lee doing at this point? Everybody made a big deal about the painting when it was revealed, and lost interest pretty quickly.
Hey, kind of like an art show.
Yeah.
How is Ava taking that sort of reaction? That's not a good thing when you're Toreador. Just okay means you failed.
It's okay. Most of those other Toreador don't actually know how to make art. There's a whole bunch of Toreador who are just critics, and you can laugh at them.
You can bully them and call them nerds.
Throw them in front of moving cars. Like Xavier does.
Putting it away or something.
Okay, so you sort of like take it off the easel and... Then what?
Burn it, rip it up.
Oh, you make a huge statement if you burned it. Be like, actually, it's performance art. Light it on fire.
But then there's a bunch of vampires, so that would not go over.
No, that's the performance part. They're part of the performance. They're the performers.
Fucking cross counter. You were all the part. It was actually you all that were the art. Part of my art.
Pretty funny.
Alright, Lee, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go over to Krisha. Or I guess I would have been talking to him, hanging out.
Okay. Ah, Lee, yes. A pleasure to see a fellow scholar here.
Scholar, is that what I am? Well,
Truth be told, I'm not sure I would have once caught myself dead in a place like this, but sometimes one must break one's shell just to know that they're not a pawn in someone else's game, wouldn't you say? Forgive me. I lose myself. What can I do for you, son?
I have misgivings as of late.
What sort of misgivings?
With the main power of the Camarilla being so far away, I'm just worried. Rules are enforced because there are strong people to enforce them. But if there's no one strong, then surely the rules can be twisted for tyrants.
Then do you mean to imply that there are no strong people in Chicago?
I'm saying that my coterie is very much in the upper echelon of that power, of which I wouldn't trust most of them with it.
You see looking at me laughing very haughtily on the balcony.
Are you doing the
Taking wine glasses and putting them on butlers' heads and stuff like that. As I'm just not paying attention.
And what is it that makes you believe your coterie holds so much power?
Wow. I might be new, but the other ones are not so much. And they've been depended on for quite a lot of things, and they've been very successful in that. That has no doubt upped their standing and the trust, which isn't a bad thing. It's just...
And you believe your usefulness is dependence?
Wait, is the coterie now like kind of coaching off the old coterie's coattail just because I'm still here?
Basically.
Yeah.
They call us Orpheus's new crew.
It's kind of coasting off of Gabriel's achievements, but you hung out with Gabriel, so
Yeah.
you're in the loop.
I
The one...
formed the tree of the werewolves.
Yeah, he was there for that. The one called Gabriel is no longer here.
He's dead.
He was one of the last ones that I had a certain amount of faith in.
Why?
And what if it were to come to light that your actions were the decisions of another?
Well, I guess I'd have to have words with this other.
He seems to fall away into thought for a second. Perhaps you would. For a while, I've been quite interested in the nature of rebellion.
I love that sword.
Now, as my long years stretch onward, the more things change, the more they stay the same. I find myself keenly interested in how one knows one's actions belong to oneself. Take it, that young child up there. Is that painting hers? Was it inspired by that buffoon in the Japanese dress?
It's a kimono.
Was it perhaps instilled upon her by a sire that dares not to show their face? Can any of her doing these past nights be considered hers? Or is a person's decisions simply what's left over once fate and the gods have had their say?
I like to think that the gods have had their fun and left us to this awful, awful existence. Otherwise, they'd just be sated.
But there are many kinds of gods, wouldn't you agree?
Yes, I suppose there's a few.
Black
they all
Snow Prince.
can't-
At this point, you see Lee just kind of going in this rhetorical circle with Cretius that might last for an hour or two.
Let's watch it.
I just kind of step between him and Cretius, mostly cutting Cretius off as I face Lee. I'm like, Lee, I need to go to an Irish restaurant and I need your help.
I don't understand how the Irish work.
I'll look at you just like,
Like, nice save.
As
Black
he turns
Snow
back
Prince.
to Crucius and continues conversation.
Black Snow Prince, I feel I have to confess something to you. I was actually raised more or less by my father.
What about your other father?
Ava, what are you doing? You're alone in a shark tank right now. There's one vampire that you recognize, that you might be able to trust for a murdering solipsistic creature that he is, that you now are.
I was about to say, like, Black Snow Prince hasn't killed anybody, but oh no, wait. Totally has.
Who have I killed?
You killed those werewolves.
Yeah, that was the whole like, oh my god, this is real moment.
Yeah.
I had the
You're
flaw
muted, love.
victim of the masquerade.
I said I probably just fucked off to like a corner somewhere.
How's your blood pool right now? Did you roll for that last night?
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't. Yeah.
Roll 1d10.
Do you want us all to do it, or do you want to just use the same one we had last time?
No, I'm asking her. You can keep whatever you've got.
Hang on. Sorry, I used the book for my table, and there you go. 9.
Okay, goddamn. So you're almost full on blood. Go ahead and bubble in 9 dots on your blood pool track out there at the bottom.
Or 9 squares.
You're okay right now. You're full. You're sated.
Yay.
Most likely, when you were working on that painting, your sire drained several unfortunate fools for you in order to keep you inspired. So for now, the hunger is but a whisper. But in the back of your mind, there's still that dark shadow, there's still the beast, whispering to you as you look out over the room full of people. You see the humans from the vampires, the waitstaff that Annabelle hired flitting from person to person, the trussed-up important ones mingling with an undead creature that would just as sure rip their jugular from their throat as listen to another word. And as you watch, you just find your eyes every once in a while narrowing on the veins of their throat as they pulse, as they move. And there's something dark about it that calls to you. Some deep-seated lust that you're afraid to acknowledge. Continue.
Dick throbbing next.
I like how dark that was, and then you're like, oh, go keep going.
Happy
So
moment.
I'm sure, Melinda, that Chaz explained to you that there's different kind of vampires, but to kind of help you contextualize it, you're in a room full of Anne Rice vampires, because that's basically what the Toreador are.
Rad. I like it.
At some point, if you're watching me, you probably see... does Annabelle have sushi here, due to my influence yet?
Why not?
He has a
we'll
goddamn
say
heartbeat.
it's become popular via the ghouls.
The
She's
ghouls.
got, she's got a lovely spread.
Just as I'm talking to... interrupting Critias and talking to Lee, I just kind of grab a little nigiri and eat it.
Oh yeah, that's right. You have eat food. Okay.
And then you vomit.
Just, it's so good.
He can keep it down for like an hour or so. He's got to vomit it up later.
I'm like, oh, it's not your race that I found important. It's more, I need protection.
Ah, you need protection. Now,
No, I didn't say that. As I kind of look around at everybody.
Like Samuelson.
I killed
you have all the protection you'll need on your hip.
Ah, yes. You are correct in this. However, sometimes there's more than one person.
There's techniques for that.
You have to understand these are delicate tools.
Can I see your insanity, PS?
Oh god, who did we lose?
I think Austin did.
Austin.
Oh god damn it.
I am the double black snow prince.
Huh?
I am now the
I am the Black Snow Prince. No, Adam.
My
We'll
weird
have
is
cameras
taken
back up momentarily. Give me just a second. Continue. Keep going.
Ah. Wow.
Also, you care about what happened in the city, yes, Lee? I need to go make important, influential decisions on behalf of this city.
Yeah.
And you don't want me to make those decisions by myself, do you?
I suppose it would be wise for me to join you.
Fucking checkmate.
Excellent. We need to go grab the others, just in case. Where is my protege, as I say, kind of looking around?
So you will immediately notice her sitting in sort of the corner, keeping to herself, giving that very creepy stare to all the kind, as all the first-time vampires are wont to do.
That's just what I do at regular parties.
I look for people to eat.
I'm like, before we go, let me go grab the youngling.
I think she prefers Padawan.
I'm not a child.
There you go. Instead of youngling, you prefer Padawan. No, man, are you gonna be the Ahsoka to his Anakin?
Because what?
Someday
It's
you'll
over,
have to take me
Anakin.
out. Well, I'm gonna go approach my protege, and I'm gonna be like, ah, yes, yes. Don't mind them. The other Toreador. They didn't recognize my greatness at first, but they'll see yours. They'll all see.
Alright, he's addressing you at this point, babe.
Can't wait.
They'll see.
They tend to respect you more when you kill a werewolf. I understand that's a lot to take in, but it's fact.
I like that. If I was really personal, like,
Anyways.
Oh, man.
Come along now, Kohai. I need to teach you things.
Kohai.
That sounded really weird. I need anything.
I guess I'll just follow her along then. Like a duckling.
Really? No questions, no qualms about going along with another one of these murderers?
he's a
I'm
bigger
kind of
one.
one now too, aren't I?
You're
Well, I
accepting
mean-
that really well.
I mean, I'm not doing it happily. Kind of like the Louis and Tom Cruise situation, where he's just really grumpy and sad at the same time.
Not like I want to follow you or anything, Buck.
I like to think I'm kind of in that kind of situation where it's just like, since I'm new, I'm kind of sad and just annoyed at the same time, but I'm here.
Okay. That's only super embarrassing every time it happens, and the cameras are back.
We're back.
It's only as embarrassing as you decided to be.
I wanna be a professional. Okay. So you're following along the Louis to his Lestat.
Yeah.
A very bizarre procession.
I mean, they're both basically toreadors. That's just how I imagine toreadors. Like, they're basically Anne Rice vampires with the whole, look at me, I do art and I'm tortured.
I mean, that was Claudia more so. Claudia was like mad about it, but she was like, fuck it.
Alright. So it falls to the three of you to summon the other two.
What's the sexy statue?
Gargoyle.
Yeah.
Just pull out a dragon flute from Power Rangers.
I mean, you play it, but a Naga shows up, or no, Mokale.
A dagger that you could play like a flute that sounded like a synthesizer sounding like a trumpet.
Emulating a violin.
Alright.
Just be like, yes, Lee, do you know where the sexy statue is in the doctor?
The statue, I suppose we can go outside and just look.
Look up.
And the doctor, we can give him a call.
Ah, yes, I think you should do that.
Thoth, Lathe, how's it going?
Ooh.
I don't think the doctor likes me very much.
I can't imagine why. Then I guess I'll give
I
one
know,
this
right?
call.
What's there not to like about me? I'm practically perfect.
Orpheus, what do you think you're doing at the moment?
Probably just miscellaneous, like, just miscellaneous research. Putting things together probably shouldn't be put together.
You're playing the Hitler game on Wikipedia.
Are you the fucking guy that did the research on how ants count their steps and put stilts on them?
Yeah, something along those lines.
All right. As you're doing
Yes.
your miscellany, your phone rings.
Huh. I've never been on this side. I take out my other phone called Gabriel.
Are you calling me?
You're going to need a satellite phone to get to him.
It's true.
I have the money.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
You want to call Gabriel?
No, it was a joke.
Bye, Coolant. I mean, sounds like a good time, dude.
Imp, have a good one, buddy.
Alright,
You look at your phone like I thought it was one way.
Oh, by the way, hi.
Mazzy, hello, Mazzy. I lose track of who I've said hi to. If I've missed you, I'm sorry. I love you.
If I said hi twice, you don't deserve it.
Well, see, two highs cancel out one high. So,
Three
three highs like to go fuck yourself.
What about a cold?
Now,
I do need
4
to be-
highs, you
I'm
should
not
go
the
to bed.
aggressive type, Coolant.
Anyway.
What about a
She's
cold
got
one?
9 blood. I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Alright, so Orpheus.
Who is this again?
This is Mr. Andrew.
Mr. Anderson.
Or Lee, if you prefer.
Ah, yes. The Bruja.
Yes.
Brouhaha.
I'm going to be joining the Black Snow Prince for some apparently important decision making. Oh, I was wondering if you'd like to join us as, well, you're the smart one.
The impressionable one who I really need to take a look inside him at some point. Very well, should I bring a larger vehicle for a larger group?
Well, I suppose it'll just be the four of us, and well, the gargoyle. He's he's got his own methods of transportation.
Walking.
Very well then. I will be there soon. When I
We're
hang
at
up.
Bell Bells.
I already hung up.
What follows is 3 hours of Orpheus going every place he's ever met you. Alright, Black Snow Prince, how do you find Roxanne?
Wasn't he hiding out at my haven?
He's hiding from House Goretrix. He could be anywhere. Where are you, Roxanne?
He's at the zoo. Well, that's, missing a lot of animals now.
Oh, yeah. They're still missing their Mexican wolves.
Oh yeah.
And the bats, weren't they missing bats too?
Oh, yeah, and the bats.
Now that that's hard to get.
Yeah. I'll probably have to look like, because it's like the first time I'm sightseeing Chicago. It's kind of dark, so they can't really tell. I have a hood on. I'm just like at the little.
Oh, okay. So you're flying around. It's like they can't tell. I have a hood on.
That would be great. I'm probably like in front of that little, whatever that thing is, that metal.
Oh, the beam?
There you go, the metal beam. Yeah.
I imagine with you in a hoodie, you look like the Thing from the Fantastic Four when you're trying to be incognito.
Yeah. It just shows like my midriff still. It just shows.
Rock hard abs. Literally rock.
So, Black Snow Prince, I ask you again, how do you find Roxanne?
I probably gave him a cell phone.
Okay. Your cell phone rings. What have you set as the ringtone?
Like me or
Well, I set my ringtone on his phone to be Detox by Oz.
Okay. So Detox by Oz starts playing. You are being summoned.
I'm like, what is this vibration?
It's been 2 months!
They never told me to use this. Sir.
Here, this will aid you. Fuck off.
Yeah. We don't walk around like, how do I use this thing? Yeah. Is it a flip phone?
You know how to use a phone. You use a phone.
Or do I?
It's not that hard, Adam. I gave you a jitterbug.
But if I only have one intelligence, two intelligence, yeah, I'll be smart enough for that.
Have you seen Instagram? It's full of one intelligence.
But somebody else is posting the pictures. Yeah, I'll probably just slip the phone in there. Hello.
Roxanne, it's the Black Snow Prince. I require your presence at Bell's party.
Oh, what presents do you want to?
Yours. Show up.
I shall be there.
Don't be weird.
What is this? What is this audio weirdness you speak of?
I'll give him the address and the general location from the sky, what it looks like.
Okay. I shall go meet you there.
Okay. Lest we waste any more time, Roxanne, you get there just as Orpheus is pulling up in... What vehicle have you taken?
I took a motorcycle to sidecar.
Okay. I like to imagine Orpheus has those fucking like 1950s goggles and shit.
Exactly.
Are you driving from the sidecar?
Alright, Orpheus, you pop up at Bell Bells, and from the shadows, a very tall 7-foot shape descends to the ground. Emerging from her bushes somewhere comes Roxanne.
Emerging from her bushes.
Oh, that's what Cool Imp was talking about.
I mean, he pointed out what you said before.
I don't remember what I said before. That didn't help me.
He said that you said fighting with fisting.
Oh. I said fist fighting. Anyway, a very stiff-looking valet in a white coat comes up. May I help you, sir?
Hey,
I believe someone in there is waiting for me.
Very good. Shall I deliver a message, sir?
Well, let me give you the list. I start writing like several pages of things, of instructions.
Okay. What does it say?
Well, it's how many steps he should take. The amount of like degrees of angles he should turn. How long he should stare at the person.
when to blink
When he should breathe.
and
Yes.
blink.
Just be like, sometimes I forget to breathe, so here's when you should be breathing.
Yes, sir. Very good. And he'll sort of like rub his hands for tip money and proffer it to you.
As he put a black card in his hand.
Here you go, champ.
Give a high five.
Oh, okay. Here's a corporate credit card.
Yes, thank you, sir. Can you give me a wits? Let me see your sheet real fast, babe.
Oh, I thought you were asking for me for a second. I was like, what?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, well, I mean, I can come give you my sheet, but it's gonna be a while.
Fast travel, Tom.
I'll show up in a motorcycle with a sidecar.
Yeah.
In the sidecar.
Yeah.
Why don't you give me a wits awareness? Because I'm going to say there's probably some supernatural Malkavian shit factoring into this. So give me a wits awareness roll. At a standard 6.
Well, I have one of those. Mostly.
Excuse me.
Can you guess what? Eh?
Because I always ask for the other one.
The other one. But that's still 4 successes.
4 successes.
witty.
Okay, so what happens is...
I'm witty as fuck.
What is Lee, the Black Snow Prince, and Ava doing as you await Orpheus's arrival?
Well, I don't know.
Well, probably. I'm gonna be betting with Black Snow Print. Who's gonna show up first?
I mean, I guess I'll just be tossing a rock, like, in my hand, up and down. Be like, why are we here?
Just
Why
a
are we
sucker?
I'm like, oh, we're going to a restaurant.
Okay.
Yes, it absolutely is. It's even got a lore sheet. In Chicago by Night. They call it the Cobweb, which I think is a much less cool name, but, you know, whatever they want to do.
The Cobweb.
The Malkavian Madness Network.
Yeah. So
The
anyway,
MMN.
what happens is you guys see strolling through the assembled crowd, this... One of the valets trying to concentrate intensely, and he looks like he's mumbling to himself. reading off this multiple page document. 47, 48, 49, 49.5, and he turns roughly like 15 degrees away from you. Looks puzzled for a second.
It was 18 degrees.
No tip.
I canceled the credit card.
Explodes in his hand.
I mean, Orpheus has been known to make bombs before.
Yeah.
And put them in people's chests.
And he says, to nobody in particular, a gentleman at the front wishes to make your acquaintance. And then starts hurriedly walking towards the front.
Huh. We witnessed
Wait,
this,
Orpheus,
but-
did you give him a specific message to deliver?
No.
It was 15 pages.
And that is what he says.
Oh, I'll witness this and say, huh. Well,
That was oddly specific.
I assume the doctor would only make somebody deliver something so strange.
He has a strange way of doing things. Let's go.
You file out from Annabelle's mansion to see Roxanne and Orpheus awaiting you. Now, Ava, this might be the first time you've ever met these people.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, gentlemen, this is my protege, Ava.
Whatever the other one.
I don't talk about her.
The one on the
We don't
interwebs.
talk about last season. Shut up. We got.
My
So
last
she carries
protege,
your blood, then.
Minarchs.
So she carries your blood then?
This one, no.
Wow.
I figured I wouldn't make that mistake twice.
You're like, oh, you have friends.
Whoa.
Friends is a strong word.
I have friends on the internet. These are acquaintances.
Ava, you will learn that in order to survive in this terrible, terrible unlife, you will need powerful acquaintances. These are them, as I motion to the gargoyle in a half shirt and the Malkavian dressed in like a very 1950s outfit.
No, it's just the helmet, the goggles. The rest is just my lab coat and regular clothes.
Do you kind of pat the motorcycle seat and tell everybody to get in?
Well, I was told that I wouldn't need a large vehicle.
I'm assuming Bell has limos here coming to the party, like people parked here to bring people here and take them back home.
Hi, Valerie.
I could see that, sure.
I'd be like, Orpheus, this is the address. I'm going to take a limo.
Well, if I had known that I would needed a limo, I would have brought a limo.
I was coming. Of course you should have brought a limo.
Since you couldn't manage a rickshaw.
You know my car with the anime girl decals is currently in the shop right now.
God damn it. I guess I will sit in the sidecar.
On Orpheus's lap?
Yeah.
Good night, honey. Thanks for coming.
Night,
Good
bye.
night.
Goodbye.
And you want me to drive this thing?
It's a stick shift.
Shit, motorcycle. All right. And well, and you can fly.
I was gonna say, who's on the motorcycle right now?
Orpheus and Lee.
Oh, so me and
I will
Prince
say
just kind of went to
there's
the limo.
2 seats there's the sidecar and someone can ride bitch on the motorcycle.
Oh, you mean they can ride in the basket up front?
But it'd have to be a hell of a large basket. Or do you have the fucking the metal lock?
Oh, the Metalocalypse
Oh,
motorcycle.
just a bunch of fucking sidecars. It's just a papoose instead of a basket.
Well, obviously Roxanne is going in the papoose and Lee's driving the motorcycle.
I can fly, guys. I don't need
In the basket.
Masquerade, Adam. It is much less suspicious to see a grown man riding in a basket. To be fair, one is probably bad drugs, the other is superpowers. So,
Well, one I'll get arrested for, one I'll get not arrested for.
I ain't doing none.
The cops are super lax right now because there's no crime going on.
Oh, that's
I
why
don't
they're like,
know. Does the crime? Does the underworld know that there's no Batman? Is there somebody pretending to be Batman?
all right. So, Orpheus and Lee set off in his motorcycle. Roxanne either flies or rides in the basket. The Black Snow Prince and Ava. Black Snow Prince has more than enough fucking persuasion dice to get one of the limos to take him wherever the hell he wants. And so, you drive. Getting on the interstate, far away from the lights of Chicago. And for a time, there's just this long stretch of road. I would like Orpheus and Black Snow Prince to give me a wits empathy roll, please.
Oh, shit.
The Malkavian doesn't have empathy.
It's true.
1 success.
3.
Okay. Interesting how that worked out.
Well, I was just rolling straight wits.
So, you guys are going down the road, and there's this whole bunch of nothing, and you're like, Irish restaurant, where the fuck is there an Irish restaurant? And suddenly, the realization clicks in both your heads at once, considering the source, as you suddenly roll upon a McDonald's sign in the distance.
God damn it! Okay, I guess I'll take that over. It's like, oh wait, Irish don't have restaurants. It's a pub. They don't go eat without going drinking.
Fucking. It's the McDonald's.
Well, I like to imagine for Orpheus, he just kind of pulled into the McDonald's as like, I'd like a Big Mac.
I like a Big Mac and I'm looking for somebody. Not at the to-go window.
Yeah. At the red box.
Well, I'd like to imagine that, I'm like, driver, pull over to that Mickey D's. You know, Ava, I've been to Japan, and I have to say the McDonald's there are significantly better. Did you know you can order a smile there?
wow. Yeah.
Well, watch this. I'm gonna order a pizza. And I'm gonna get a pizza.
The Krusty Krab pizza.
Orpheus has enough money to pull that off.
Get a pizza from McDonald's? I want a pizza. No, sir, we don't have pizza. $500. I want a pizza. You know what?
Let me work something out.
Yeah.
All right. You roll into the McDonald's, discharge from your various crafts. What do you do now?
Crash landing, superhero landing.
Adam, it's called Vampire the Masquerade.
But like,
Superhero
Granted, I would still
Superhero.
argue with you if this was Requiem, but Jesus Christ, man, it's in the name.
can at least be flying on top of the lip.
No, if this was the Requiem, Adam would be asleep.
Yeah.
I was gonna say he can superhero land into the dumpster.
I am just a homeless guy.
Or into the grease trap.
Ah. And now they think he has awful burns.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. By the time it gets outside, it's already nice and cold.
Ugh, cold old oil.
And burger grease.
Let's just go into the damn Mickey D's.
Okay then. So, the coterie makes their way through in odd procession, looking something like Anime Expo threw up on a tattoo parlor.
Okay.
I held the door open.
As you make your way in, there's a couple of patrons. It's fairly on in the evening. We'll say maybe about 10 o'clock. One or two families have, on a road trip, pulled over to get something to eat. And in one table, Raven, wouldn't quite recognize him. He's fairly young, maybe 18, 19. Rather thin, close cropped hair. Maybe some sort of Hispanic, you're not sure. The rest of you instantly recognize the sheriff of Chicago, Damien. He sits there with a burger and fries in front of him, of course completely untouched. And he seems to have eschewed his normal laid-back, carefree demeanor. And you can see that there's sort of this barely concealed nerves playing across his face. And he meets eyes. And for a second you think there's an expression that reads, "Oh God, it's you guys." But then he immediately regains composure and leans back in the booth.
Just a son of a bitch.
I'm just gonna kind of sit at the table with him. I'm gonna be like, I assume you're not gonna eat these. I just kind of grab a handful of fries and put them in my mouth. Or I'd probably just grab the whole carton, start picking at them, offer some to Ava.
Do you have the Eat Food merit?
I also made his ramen chaz.
I do not.
Okay. In which regard, watching him eat human food is completely disgusting to you now. Like, it turns your stomach like no other. And you kind of feel bad about it because the food he's eating looks pretty tasty. Once in a while, you would have been all over it.
Oh, hold on there. It's McDonald's.
I like their fries.
But for now, as you're just watching him, and he slides this greasy, salt-caked fry into his mouth and chews, and that mashing sound, everything just makes you feel sick.
Brad.
Can I have a self-control roll at a difficulty 4?
Self-control? Where is that?
It's going to be on the front of your shirt, towards the bottom. Go ahead.
I'm gonna reach for the Black Snow Prince's wrist.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. I found it.
And pull out a syringe.
2.
You gag a little bit, and you can taste some A positive just right here in your throat, but you're able to keep it down. Okay.
I like how you discerned that it's A positive.
So really, according to the V5 metaplot, vampires actually taste emotions and blood.
Well, I know, I mean, like, me though, like I'm supposed to know what that is. Use
your imagination. Your character has.
I'm kidding. I'm just giving you shit, Ben.
Anyway, yeah, Orpheus grabs the Black Snow Prince, syringe in one hand. What happens?
Oh, I'm probably gonna try to pull away. Or, even better, I'm going to do a super anime move. I'm going to grab a fry and put it in place of the syringe so it stabs the fry instead.
Okay.
At this point, Damien sort of just sighs. He's like, I'm going to get the hell out of here before whatever's about to happen happens. Listen. He takes
we're here to meet you. Yeah.
And he takes this brown envelope out from under the table and slides it across. And he says to you, as soon as I find what he fucking... There we go. The prince only requested I ensure the envelope reaches you. The 4 phones inside are burners. They connect to one of my people. You'll get 1 use out of each of them and they'll go dead. Clear? Enjoy the rest of your evening. At which point, he gets up.
Well, I can fix that.
At which point, he gets up, makes his way out of the McDonald's.
Damien, we should spar again sometime.
Yeah, that was a constructive use of half an hour.
Oh, I guess I should have mentioned the syringe was empty.
So you're gonna inject air?
No.
I think he was trying to pull blood out. But he's about to get French fry stuffing instead.
Ew.
Well, I mean, it's just a matter of pushing a little further.
You put ketchup in
You're like,
the
oh,
syringe.
okay. I promise I'll bring this back.
It's like, this blood is familiarly Irish. Oh wait, never mind.
What's Damien thinking of all this? Yeah.
He's fucked off, man. He knows you guys by now.
Nope, I don't want to be here.
No.
It's like I paid for the food and I'm walking out.
I also like the idea that I'm gonna fix the phone so it doesn't just burn once. And then we call more than once, and they're like, "How the fuck did you do that? How did you call me twice?"
What do you got to roll?
All right.
Intelligence technology?
What does the envelope
Probably.
say? Or rather, what's in the envelope?
All right. So, you open the envelope. There are the 4 phones. There is a handwritten letter, penned in a very deliberate script. And there are 3 sheets of paper that look like almost like a police criminal file.
Just as Orpheus is pulling blood out of a syringe and tinkering with the phone, and I'm like, oh, what does it say, Lee?
Not a whole lot. These people I would recognize.
Maybe. How about an intelligence politics?
Impossible.
Do you want me to try as I'm kind of looking over at the papers?
Yes.
2 successes.
You recognize that one of the people on the files is Genghis.
Oh, Gabriel's fanboy who I beat up is here.
I don't think I think he stopped being a fanboy at one point.
Yeah, he thought I was a sellout.
And then I beat him up.
The other 2, you don't quite recognize. And then, of course, there's also the letter that doesn't have a particular picture or anything attached.
What does the letter say?
The letter says...
Nothing, because I can't talk.
God damn it.
Jesus Christ, Adam.
Yeah.
You can leave now.
Kick Adam from the street.
Okay.
Wait, don't do that. Don't fuck up the cameras again. It's so soul crushing. I feel little pops inside every time that happens. My trusted kin, I write to you in complete confidence. Confidence you will remain silent about the information in this letter, and confidence you will perform this task competently and swiftly. This upcoming night, tomorrow night, a delegation will arrive at O'Hara Airport. You are to safely guard and transport them from the airport to the 3rd floor of the SC the night after 2100. No later. The night of their arrival, it is your task to keep them somewhere safe, bringing them to the SC on the night following. I should not have to mention I expect the delegation to arrive at the SC intact and well rested. Our visitors consist of 2 individuals of our kind. A small-framed, younger East Asian girl with long, dark hair, and a bald, bearded, older white gentleman who I choose to describe as unkempt. Meet the delegation at 2200 outside the Terminal 5 Herrick's Grocers in the arrivals area. A car will be ready for you at the Terminal 5 car park in Zone H22, the registration and keys for which are also in this envelope, though you may wish to arrange an additional car of your own. Do ensure certain troublemakers from within our social club do not disrupt your task. I am confident you are aware of whom I speak of, but for clarity's sake I have enclosed files Damien compiled. Use the night you receive my message to subtly kill the fire before it begins. And this is naturally a figure of speech. Do not cause unnecessary trouble by leaving stains on the ground. Merely subdue potential issues temporarily for your own and the city's sake. I don't want anyone feeling like they need to cause a rebellion due to your actions. Payment for the successful completion of this task is guaranteed and keeping with my family's generosity. Sincerely, PKJ.
PKJ.
Jackson.
Pollock?
Do you care?
Is he somebody we've met before, or is this a new character?
Who?
PKJ?
No, Prince Kevin Jackson.
Oh, okay. Which one's Kevin Jackson again? It's been a while.
He was the one that owned that ghetto who had those ghouls that killed
He's
Adam's
the one
first
whose
character.
group, blew the fuck up Adam.
Like, what the hell are we, lackeys? Or
Oh.
guard dogs,
Kind
Yes.
of.
That is how Vampire Society is set up. Are you asking
That's
that?
how
I mean. Yes.
Camarilla Vampire Society.
So then she's asking that in character, in which case I give it to you to explain to her.
Oh, no. Not
Like
me.
you
at
did,
least.
you're giving this explanation while I'm still getting blood out of you.
No. I'd be like, lackeys know, however, rather than physical currency, we vampires tend to trade in favors.
Ah,
Sometimes those favors are somewhat forced.
fun.
You're a young vampire, much as myself. You'll have to get somewhat used to the older, more powerful vampires trying to bully you into doing their bidding. That's when you cut them in half with a katana.
Or you cannot put up with shit.
Oh, they don't. tend
she has a good point.
Yeah, that's why I said cut them in half with a katana.
Burger.
Are you sure you don't want any fries?
Stygian son, how you doing, Tony?
I'm just gonna walk outside after he offered me fries again before I throw up blood on the
That's
floor.
just like, who? Potatoes!
Let's do another self-control roll at a diff 5 this time.
If I
Yeah.
Potatoes, that's the opposite of Japanese.
It's getting a little harder to watch him eat as you just stare at him, masticating.
but eat.
You know you roll more than one die, my love. However many dots
Which
you
one's-
have in self-control.
Oh shit! Sorry, I wasn't thinking.
It's
I was
okay.
thinking of the other thing you had me do.
That almost feels like a jab.
What is it? Diff what?
5.
2.
2. Okay. You're able to keep it down, but you need fresh air.
Yep. That's why I went outside.
You all get so squeamish around food.
You all get so squeamish when I wanted to pull things apart from you.
Tony, we're going as late as Josh will. He's basically, he sends the marker.
Just because I usually have to go into work in the morning, which I do again. So I got like 10, 15 more minutes.
There we go.
Then 10 minutes of. That's it.
So, who are these people in the file? At least, what does the file say about these people?
Okay. File number 1. Name, Noah Gruel. Alias, Flyboy. Background. This member of our club followed in the footsteps of Tyler, with his interest in the city's air travel system. He believes O'Hare is his territory, and claims to control everything entering and leaving Chicago via flight. He will undoubtedly raise questions about our guests and their business and perhaps prevent them passing security, though we suspect they are coming in as cargo. He has influence over the Department of Aviation's executive team, specifically one Felicity Miller. File number 2. Name, Charles Dawson. Alias, Crook. Background. When Charles becomes bored, unnecessary drama occurs, and we believe he heard of this coming delegation. Therefore, he will undoubtedly do whatever he can to draw unwanted attention and disrupt proceedings. He will most likely send out thugs to spy on you and sabotage your mission just to prove his relevance in the city. He will be around Crook's Bar near Rogers Park, as they are currently renovating. File 3. Name, Genghis, alias, blank. Background. If you haven't lived under a rock for the past years, you would know about Genghis and his alternative methods of dealing with his hatred for the elite club. He would happily go out of his way to release PKJ's hold on power. When he hears about a foreign delegation arriving, and I suspect he will due to his high status among the local rebels, rest assured Genghis will have eyes on the airports and interesting new arrivals. I cannot say where he is at the moment, as his movements are completely unreliable. An informant tells me he has on the Gold Coast 126 East Cedar Street, but security will be tight.
So we just Diabloize all three of these people, right? And then we inherit their territory. That's how it works, right?
The Inquisition is...
I just call the Inquisition on all three of the locations we were just given.
Yeah.
Ooh. Let's not bring in the Inquisition right now. Because if they find one vampire, they're kind of like roaches. Or you find one, there's like 20. So.
But they found 3.
Yeah, that means they're going to kill 30. So, I say, before we start killing people, you guys go talk to them.
But I don't want to.
Let's avoid bloodshed. Perhaps you can persuade them with your Toreador ways.
Just be like, I am very charming.
Who knows, they might be a fan.
And, I suppose the rest of us will be on standby, so to speak.
Intimidation duty? Intimidation duty?
I wouldn't say intimidate. Negative. I like to say forceful persuasion.
Isn't that just intimidate? Another fancy word.
Ain't that just a fancy word to it?
Who's the one that owns the airport or thinks they own the airport?
Noah Gruel.
And what was the what was the problem that the prince foresaw with Flyboy?
He controls the airport.
And he's worried he might try to stick his nose into it.
Right.
I mean, did the prince not ask him? I guess the prince isn't going to need to ask anybody, but he could just let him know. Kind of a dick move to just be like, hey, I'm going to use it.
The criminal file seems to imply that perhaps Gruel doesn't have an actual claim to the airport as far as kindred domain is established, but he's going to try to kick up some shit to get his way.
Then I guess we go to him first.
Oh man, it'd be a funny way to use my background benefit right away.
Actually, first, let's open up the mini-map. Which objective is closest?
Well, I was going to suggest trying the airport first to try to...
is the airport still being repaired?
Huh?
Is the airport still being repaired?
Nah, dude, okay, so for everybody, we have modified canon a little bit to suit our tastes, but the big difference is that the Lupine Wars of 1992 in our chronicle happened in about 2016, which is still 3 years ago, so the airport is fine, my dude.
But does it still reek of, urine?
If you wouldn't want to crank up your auspex, but other than that, it smells fine. Let's put it that way.
You can smell the past.
Who was the woman that was like the eyes and ears for Flyboy that the dossier mentioned?
Felicity Miller, one of the Department of Aviation's executive team.
So she works at the airport, right?
Yes.
Okay. I suggest we hit this weak point first.
Let's do it.
If you wish for me to talk to somebody. And we know what flight the people are coming on, right?
Yeah. You
some
know
of our-
you know when they're getting in, so it's kind of a very easy triangulation. Are some of your old characters still about? Well, Orpheus is Tom's oldest character. Xavier's old character was Gabriel. We've mentioned him a couple times, and you might see him in a future chronicle. Maybe we'll see where that goes. Let's see. Before Roxanne, Adam played James Spunk, who was the child of Josh's old character, and I think they both just got retired, so they're still banging around somewhere. Before that, he played Jermaine. Jermaine fucking died. Jermaine decided in the middle of the Lupine Wars that he was going to chemistry. Jermaine was a Robnos. He was going to chemistry a bunch of attacking werewolves running at Kevin Jackson's ghouls way before he was Prince. The ghouls don't know any better. They're loaded down with anti-vampire shit, though, and they throw a white phosphorus grenade. And I roll exactly enough to kill Adam. And Adam rolls exactly enough to die, to soak. So, literally, these ghouls turn around, see approaching werewolves, throw their grenade, turn back, and see a pile of dust. Vasil! Josh's first character was Alfonso Espada-Grande. He's still around, just retired. And this is Raven's first vampire ever.
Josh's second character is still around and has a bomb in his chest.
Hell yeah.
Orpheus still doesn't know where the detonator is.
And neither does he.
Every once in a while, does he find one and just kind of clicks it?
Listens.
No, it's like
He just has like how some families have like a drawer of old phones. He has a drawer of detonators.
Oh man, my Ravnos would hunt the hell out of Orpheus if he got blown up.
All right, so
I don't know if that's a great idea. You might go crazy. Am I talking about Orpheus or am I talking about your character? Who knows?
What are we doing?
So we go to meet this right hand, eyes and ears. But not the nose. It's someone else.
All right. You pile in to your respective transportation. You make
yes,
your
I
way
am
to O'Hara Airport.
Jojo Gargoyle.
All right. So you leave your vehicles in the car park, start making your way towards the airport proper, and as you do, you start noticing that there's quite a preponderance of armed guards around lately. Like, heavily armed guards.
Yeah, definitely try to talk your way.
When you're looking at auras with aspects too, can you tell if somebody's gold or not?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna turn on aspects too.
Okay,
And
not a masquerade
spell
violation.
roll.
So, you activate your aura perception. Looking at these heavily armed guards that seem to be patrolling, they appear to be fully human.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of.
I can obfuscate us all.
Oh yeah, you want to do that?
I forgot you had that.
I forgot you.
This is the hacker type where we could just kind of like, hey, where's this lady's office in this building? Let's go walk over there. Okay, are we gonna obfuscate then?
Sure, I can do that.
Okay, so you're going to cloak the gathering?
Yeah.
I forget, does that have a blood cost? Or
As far as I know, I think only like the level 3 or 4 obfuscate actually cost blood.
Hang on, it's been a while since you've cloak gathering, but yeah, go ahead. I think it's what is it, dexterity stealth or wit stealth or something? Go ahead and roll it.
Okay. Good thing I have all of those.
I have my book. It's right here.
Okay, so
Yeah, it's super signed. I love this book.
Chaz has done things to that book.
That's for a different stream, Josh.
that's 8 successes.
Holy shit! So you guys are literally walking along. Nobody seems to be paying attention to you, and like 15 minutes into it, Orpheus is just like, "Oh yeah, I obfuscated us."
I kind of look at Orpheus. I'm just like, you're kind of like a shinobi.
How many dots in stealth do you have?
How many dots?
Yeah.
I have 5.
Okay, yeah, you can blanket the entire party then.
It's just funny for a scientist to have that many dots in stealth, just kind of peep up on people.
Well, that's what
Sometimes I need a surprise take blood.
Yeah.
Just
Surprise
shave somebody
injection.
without them noticing.
Take their or steal their shoes while they're wearing them.
Adam is playing a gargoyle, Vasil. Good eye.
We don't like to call it thieving. We prefer the term surprise blood donation.
I know.
Oh, like surprise game mechanics?
Yeah.
It's not gambling, they're surprise mechanics. Some parents were definitely surprised when they got that $500 bill.
500 pounds.
Yeah, 500 pounds.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm assuming we're going to kind of go to the airport and kind of look for where the offices are, like where people are actually working. And try
Are
to
we?
find the, we're trying to look for the flight director, aren't we?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming we're either looking for the offices or she's in like one of those big tower terminals.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're looking around, and you're able to find like a lot of low-level functionary offices. You don't really see the aviation department. That might be behind like a secured area or something. However,
It's a good thing. No.
what I would like is, how about a wits? Remember character sheet in the back of the book. This is what it's for. Let's do a wits investigation, please. And anyone who would like to roll may roll.
1
3.
success.
3 for Orpheus?
Yeah.
4 dots, let me see.
What's the death bed?
Standard 6.
2.
4.
Nope. I got no successes. But I didn't botch though.
I got 1 success on 1 die.
Alright. So Roxanne is probably staring out a big window, having some Jaden Smith thought about how planes fly.
Like, how do they fly? They're so heavy. But I'm heavy too. Are we the same?
How do bumblebees do it?
How do hummingbirds fly?
So you guys take a couple detours, a couple back routes. It's really fucking buried in there, but eventually you do find the aviation department. Problem is, the entire aviation department is behind one door and is currently locked behind an electronic locking mechanism. Orpheus, would you like to mess with this?
Well, I mean, I guess.
Or we just bust it down.
That's kind of how I do, after all.
Is it like a key card kind of thing where you have to swipe it through like a little slot?
There's a key card. It looks like it's probably rigged with an alarm. There's an electric lock. So it's got quite a few electronic countermeasures to itself.
I slice my katana to where the key goes so quickly.
Do you want to do it?
No,
I'll let you
that
try.
do his thing.
I'll let you try, but it's going to cost an exorbitant amount of successes if you fuck up.
Oh man, if you're letting me roll my Dex Katana, I need more dice. No,
I like the idea it's not even fucking melee for you. You have professional skill katana.
Only katana.
Well, I guess I'll try to willpower for this one. What am I rolling?
Depends. How are you going to attack this?
Probably slowly and methodically, like disassembling it and
Okay, do you have tools?
You have like one of those little pocket screwdrivers?
definitely do have a pocket screwdriver, though I might have to borrow your katana.
This is precision work.
As I kind of hold it before you and bow down a little and be like, just know this is my soul.
Yes,
Brexit here.
yes, of course.
I
I just break off a piece just for for a bit. That'd be funny. Thanks.
Okay. Give me an intelligence technology at a difficulty 8, and you are spending a willpower.
That I also have. You sure you don't want me to use medicine?
I'd prefer technology.
No, medicine technology. Alright. Difficulty 8, you said. Okay.
Yes, sir.
One, two. That's only 3 successes, including the willpower.
Okay. So, you disassemble this thing. Orpheus has it in a million pieces, and then he just kind of knocks on it once and goes beep, turns green, and you hear the door unlock.
Well, now I need to put it back.
Damn it.
I just want to see if I can do it. All right, put it back.
Alright, go ahead and cut it now.
Or I like to imagine I was like, that was fun. What were we doing again?
I guess we just walk on in.
Yeah, just kind of open the door and walk in.
All right. The aviation department is not a very large block of offices. It's mostly just kind of one narrow hallway. You do eventually see a office marked Felicity Miller, and lucky for you, the light is on inside. Perhaps someone's burning the midnight oil.
And is Felicity a ghoul?
How would you know?
What did the police file say?
Didn't mention one way or the other.
Well, I
So
am
they
turning
give us
on my...
any information on her besides that she exists? Looks like this prince is gonna go the way of Loden. Shame about those werewolf attack.
What'd you say, Josh?
I'm assuming if we're still cloaked, I'm gonna kind of creak the door open so I can look in and auspex her.
You can. And you know what? I'm fine with Bloodlines rules. No, that seems stupid and that could backfire on me. So letting you auspex through the wall might seem bad. I will let you do it, but if you manipulate the door, you're going to break your obfuscate.
What if I look into the crack underneath?
Speaking of which, Orpheus probably broke his own obfuscate taking apart the lock.
So then he can manipulate this door.
If you wanna look under the door jamb,
Yeah.
you know what? Honestly, there's probably like a window or something because these offices usually have one. So you can see as she sort of radiates with these bright colors, you can tell that she's fully human.
Okay, not a ghoul.
But she knows of us, right? Right?
That was a loud silence.
Yeah.
Who here has dominate?
I do not. I'm not that kind of Malkavian.
Yeah, for our V5 friends, Malkavians worked a little bit differently in old editions. Dementation was its own fully fleshed out discipline, and they could either have that or dominate in V20. Orpheus went dementation.
It's more fun.
It is fun.
I'm assuming the True Ha doesn't have Dominate.
No, but I
I
can think of 2 people in the immediate vicinity with presence.
That's what I was about to do.
Santa.
What does presence do?
Presence is emotional manipulation. You can make people fixate on you as the center of their attention. You can instill soul-crushing fear. You can make them want to please you and bow to your every whim. Or something in between.
I could also numb her emotions.
How many dots in presence do you have? 3 dots. So, with those 3 dots, you could 1, make her fixate on you. 2, inflict pants-shitting terror. Or 3, I believe summon is 3. Tenebration, presence, entrancement.
Everyone's frozen.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll be alright. So, with your 3rd dot, you can use the power of entrancement. This power bends others' emotions, making the vampire's willing servants. Do what these individuals see as true and enduring devotion. They heed the vampire's every desire, since this is done willingly. Instead of having their will sapped, these servants retain their creativity and individuality.
So, did you want me to try to entrance this person?
Oh, yes. Let us see you unleash that inner Toreador. Because I only have 2 dots in presence, because I went with celerity.
So, how would I go about this? Should I just walk in? Start up a conversation?
Just go in, slap her, and be like, you know you like it. Just completely throw her off, and she's like, what? And why do
guess I do.
And who are you?
Who are you?
I'm a locksmith, and I'm a locksmith.
Well, her door's not locked, right? Obviously.
No?
What do we need to do? So obviously she gives information to the flyboy. I'm assuming she's the one that's going to know about the flight and whatnot.
Yep.
And so we just need her to not tell him those things. Why doesn't she tell you those things?
Okay.
And probably find out what kind of relationship she has with Flyboy.
I'm trying to think of what I should really be doing. Just walking in and starting to talk to her, or
I mean, you absolutely can. You can do whatever you want. Your powers let you kind of do that. With your presence, she's kind of put on the defensive.
So what happens is if you're going to activate your entrancement, you're going to spend a blood point. So you're going to erase one of those dots that you added earlier.
yeah.
And you're going to give me an appearance plus empathy roll. Difficulty equal to the target's current willpower points. If you're a desk jockey burning the midnight oil this late at night, I'm pretty sure you're working with a 5.
So what do you want? Appearance what?
Appearance plus empathy.
Entrance.
Oh my god.
No. How close is she to suicide? Willpower might be like 2 or 3.
There's actually a rope already hanging, just in
Yeah,
case
5?
you ever choose.
Yes.
Six successes.
6? Good God. Okay.
I have 4 in like appearance and like 3 in empathy.
How dare you be prettier than me?
Hey man, you picked me.
That's why you chose her.
So, with a bit of trepidation, you reach for the beast. You tap it. You reach for your heart, the seat of your vitae, and you can feel it kick. This dark energy throughout your entire body, and it just sort of seems to lift you up. Your self-esteem boosts 100 points. You look and see yourself as the owner of everything you survey. What do you do?
I guess I'll just walk in and I guess I'll call her by name to have her turn around. Because I assume she's not facing... Is she facing the door?
Her desk is probably door adjacent.
Okay.
So here's what's funny. The chart for entrancement stops at 5 successes, and Ava has entranced her for 1 year.
Well, shit.
You can just basically go in there and be like, you're coming home with me. You're going to be my footstool.
So you walk in as you just push open the door like you own the place, and her eyes snap up to you. You can't be in here. And she sort of like reaches for her phone very half-heartedly, and you just see her hand hover and pull back slightly, as if she's somewhat afraid but deeply intrigued.
Oh, it's that Johnny Bravo quote.
I'm sickened, but I'm curious. So I guess I'll just tell her to come along with me.
Come with me.
I'll show you the world.
Okay, where are we going?
Don't worry about that.
That's,
Okay.
It's pretty sketch.
And she'll
I got her for a year, guys. It's fine.
Don't I need to worry about my work? I mean, I don't want to lose my job. It's a good job.
No, you're fine.
Jobs are for dorks.
There you go.
All right. I mean,
jobs for dorks who aren't my footstool.
if you're sure, I feel like I can trust you. Okay, yeah, let's go. I want to go where you're going.
Should I just like present her to Josh or to no Prince?
She's only entranced by you.
Okay.
Keep that in mind.
Okay. I can also just tell her to answer his questions. I assume she would listen to that, maybe.
Well, if you bring her over here, I could just whisper questions to you and you could ask her.
That too. Okay, we can do that one. I guess I'll just, what do you want to know?
Well, either that or if you want privacy, you can probably beckon us into her office and just be like, some of my friends are coming in here.
Okay.
That's up to you. I'm not trying to tell you what to do.
No, that's fine. That's a better idea. So I'm gonna let some of my friends...
Are you sure? I don't... We're really not supposed to have anybody back here. How did you get past the security lock?
Oh, I dismantled it.
You say
Does he say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that one of your friends?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
We work here.
Hi.
Hi, we work here.
We work here.
Yeah.
I'll be just kind of look at Orpheus real quick. I'm like, he works maintenance here now.
That's not true.
He has a dry sense of humor.
That is true.
I'm a delight. I don't know if this is a good place to call it. It's already slowly getting past midnight.
Sure. Okay, we can call it here. I'm going to give everybody 3 XP.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you 8 to catch you up to their plateau. These guys are working somewhere around Ancilla level. They've got about 200 XP at this point. Let's vote for the extra XP. Everybody in chat, you know how this goes. If there's any new viewers in the audience, so what we do is, no matter how long you've been here, no matter how long you've been watching, no matter how much you know about the game, you can vote for one player to get an extra XP tonight. You just have to give us a reason. Could be anything you want. Funny joke, nice hair. I don't really care, but it makes people feel good about themselves. Thothlathe, you vote for Josh. Why do you vote for Josh, Thothlathe?
Vindicate your vote.
My love, who do you vote for tonight?
Guess I will give it to Josh.
Why?
Played well.
Josh, who would you like to vote for?
Who do I vote for? I vote for Tom for showing up in a motorcycle
Yep.
with a scarf and goggles.
Oh, I'll forgive you with the song.
Tao
Have a
Quinn
little-
is biased, Orpheus, because Malkavian and Motorcycle with a sidecar. So right now, Orpheus is winning at 3-2.
I like to think he has a little horn on it too.
Josh reading.
He didn't have a bicycle bell.
Nah.
All right, if I understand Mazzy correctly, then it's tied between Josh and Tom tonight. Dude, you are so right, Thoth. Josh is amazing when he gets into his characters. He does some cool shit. Everybody here is pretty great and has some moments, but Josh elevates it to an art.
I don't know about me, but okay.
You're doing well. You're learning. You got pretty ruthless there at the end, with completely emotionally manipulating a hapless mortal. You're going to make a very interesting Toreador.
That's not hard to manipulate people in general. Sometimes.
Right.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
I don't know who Chad is, but I agree with you.
I mean, I wouldn't know, because I'm not that kind of person, but I've seen it happen.
True
And
Chad.
It's kind of scary.
Well, Chad is from Bleach, Chad.
Okay.
Adam.
Everyone's favorite Mexican in anime.
No, that's Brock.
No.
That's a Brock.
Adam, where's your vote going?
The top for, well, actually, for Josh rated the French one. Yeah.
All right. Takes a good long time to get practice with this game. Hang in there. Don't be afraid to learn as you go. It's a much more engaging and legitimate experience. I 100% agree. Hey, no problem. I get it 100 times. Usually I have to tell people at Taco Bell my name's Bob. Okay. So Josh is going to take it running unless anybody else in the chat wants to vote. In the meantime, thanks for being here. We always appreciate you guys making time for us. You know, it's not always easy. It's a pain in the ass. It's hard for me to make streams, but it means a lot to us that you're here. If you're watching on YouTube or listening on SoundCloud, thank you again for your time, because again, that much time is not an easy thing to give. And you're friggin' awesome, and you deserve to know it. If you enjoyed yourself, like, subscribe, follow, whatever you feel like doing. We'd appreciate that too. There's social media down below if you want to keep up with us and want to know what we're streaming next when we're streaming it. If you really, really like us, we've got a Patreon down below. We are currently working on figuring out ways to do some cool stuff for the people that do Patreon stuff with us. The shout out at the beginning is just the beginning. So we're going beyond that, but I cannot say anything at this point. All right. There are no votes by the end of my spiel. Going once. Going twice. Black Snow Prince takes it running.
Yes.
Did you enjoy yourself tonight, my love?
Yes.
I am very happy to have you here. And I'm very happy to have you guys here. Thank you very much. Good night, dear friends.
Bye-bye.
We're out.
Goodbye, biggest audience we've ever had.
No.
We
So
hit
far.
30 once with V5, but pretty close. Still grateful for it. Good night, everybody.